Real fake, real fake, real fake, real fake news.
Not all fake news is created equally. There's a vast difference between independent conservative news, which is often hate speech and wacky conspiracy theories, and independent progressive media like Democracy Now!, which is a legitimate attempt to respond to and criticize corporate media narratives, even if they don't always get it right. In the wake of the chaos in Charlottesville, extreme conservative outlets are reaching pretty far up their asses to find a way to pin blame on progressives. First, it was the invention of Antifa driver. According to puppetstringnews.com, a friendly fire Charlottesville car attacker is anti-Trump Antifa supporter. Then, when they found the driver, and he turned out to be a Trump supporter and a white supremacist, they turned to their default blaming of George Soros. They're referring to this Craigslist ad for crowd service looking for actors. Must be willing to brawl with a neo-Nazi. Possibility of death, but other than that, it's a good gig. Hey, Soros can pay my bills. I could use a job. When do I get my check? I keep seeing this repeated by so-called progressives. What is it supposed to prove? It's in Charlotte, North Carolina, not Charlottesville, Virginia. Besides, it's not like Craigslist ads are a credible source. Also, it's a company that provides a service to other companies that need crowds for whatever reason. It doesn't say anything about anyone actually requesting their casting service for anything specific. What it says is, if you would like a crowd for a protest, corporate PR stunt, or for anything, they will provide the crowd. Maybe actually read before you jump on the Soros default conservative narrative. If anyone was paid to be there, it was the white supremacists, who seemed pretty well organized for inbreeders. Even if people were paid to attend, which they weren't, that doesn't change the gravity of neo-Nazis terrorizing a town, inciting violence, and committing murder. I doubt the KKK members would need money to get white supremacists to show up with all that's going on, empowering and emboldening them. Hatred is a powerful fuel, perhaps even more powerful than money. Even progressive media gets it wrong sometimes, though. Some progressive commentators are starting to sound a lot like their wacky conservative counterparts. According to this guy, Anomaly, protesters on both sides were bussed into Charlottesville together.
Apparently this is a taboo mentality to have, but I'm not a complete moron. I can double task. I'm not right-wing. I'm not conservative, but this is why I make these videos. Listen to what this guy has to say.
Why would buses line up in the same place and drop people off? Some of the people got on Black Lives Matter shirts and some people got on KKK shirts.
Could it have been real racist and real neo-Nazi and white supremacist people defending a statue? Absolutely. I'm not ruling out either or promoting either or. Once again, I'm just not a complete moron.
You seem like a moron to me. Anomaly or whatever it is. He spent a lot of time explaining that he's not a moron. He clearly worked very hard making his video, but forgot to include any factual evidence of his bold claim. Who told you they were bussed in? The guy sitting in his car? That's not even remotely similar to evidence. It's like intellectual ping pong. I say a fact, you make some shit up. I offer another fact, you make something else up. Stupidity is contagious and should be treated like a dangerous virus. But unfortunately, we can't rely on the major news outlets to be the truth vaccine. Let's play again. In real news, white supremacists aren't terrorists because they aren't Muslim. Antifa is the real problem. According to BBC, Antifa, left-wing militants on the rise. Critics say the militant left is just as dangerous as the far right. Which brings us to our daily definition. False equivalence, a logical fallacy in which two opposing arguments appear to be logically equivalent when in fact they're not. This fallacy is categorized as a fallacy of inconsistency. Example, the militant left is just as dangerous as the far right. First, there's no militant left. That's like the liberal media, a term used by conservative media which describes something that simply does not exist. Neoliberal maybe. Second, protecting yourself from violent Nazis who are marching around in full military gear, brandishing assault rifles, isn't violence, it's self-preservation. Here's another example. If white supremacists are labeled terrorists, so should Black Lives Matter movement. But the truth is, Black Lives Matter seeks equality for people of color. KKK seeks supremacy for whites. Huge difference. And that's the real fake news. Thanks for watching. If you like this show and would like to see more shows like these, please subscribe. And if you really like this show, please donate. If you absolutely love this show, you can become a monthly patron.
Real fake, real fake, real fake, real fake news.